So with that, I'd like to turn it over to my good friend Mike, who is extremely instrumental in helping you protect your Wades Island. So thank you.
So good morning, and thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you. First of all, just a brief advertisement of the Waccamaw Community Foundation. We are the only community foundation in Horry and Georgetown counties, and we also service Williamsburg County for disaster recovery funding. We're focused on grants, scholarships, and nonprofit support. Over 250 nonprofits in the region. We spend a lot of time trying to help those folks help everybody else, and that's part of our mission. But the third piece of what we do is regional community leadership. It's really helping to be the convener and connector for the community that we serve. So that's where I focus almost every day. So economic growth. Boy, do we have a lot of economic growth. There's not a place you can go in these two counties and not see new lumber coming out of the ground every day. And I can tell you I'm out and about constantly, and it amazes me how fast we're growing. And I've only been here less than 2 years on a permanent basis. My wife and I have been coming here for decades. We've had family in the region, and we had a condo down here, and we made the trek from Ohio many, many, many times to enjoy that right there. Lots of opportunity comes with economic growth. We get more taxes, so we've got more money to spend. We've got more employment. We are reducing the amount of poverty. That's what comes with economic growth. And it's important that we work together to capitalize on those opportunities. And at the same time, challenges. We heard folks talk already. Clay's mentioned, infrastructure and being able to easily get to one place to the other. Our roads are continuing to get busier. We continue to see increases in other issues that we all know. And again, those type of issues can only be dealt with together. Only together can we capitalize on the opportunity and overcome challenges. So when you look at that map, and this is something that we put together just to kind of really, in our mind, make sure we're counting everybody. As a foundation, we spent a lot of time in this market and all of these communities. And when we use the word Grand Strand, we're talking about out here. Folks inland may not connect with that. So the word Waccamaw, that was the first thing when I took this position is, what's Waccamaw? I know it's a river. Didn't know much more about it. So I asked my board chair. Nobody really knew how or why we were named Waccamaw. I saw the name all over the region. So I decided to really start to dig in and figure out what this was. So that led me to meeting Chief Hatcher of the Waccamaw Indian people. And if you haven't had a chance to sit down with Chief Hatcher, I recommend you all do it. He is a wealth of knowledge on who we are and what we are as a region. So I spent a lot of time with Chief Hatcher and learned that Waccamaw means between the waters. And somebody in our past at the foundation knew that because our little logo has all the water on it. But that's what it means, between the waters. And he told me the story of the Waccamaw River and the rivers that feed the Waccamaw. And Clay alluded to this earlier, as those rivers flow all the way to Winyah Bay. They all connect us, and they are the lifeblood of this region. Without those rivers, I don't think any of us would be here. That said, that water out there is a lifeblood for our tourism today, but that fresh water that runs in all those rivers is what really brings that lifeblood together for us. So the next thing I did when I landed in my role is I needed to do some discovery. I needed to figure out who we are and what we needed to be working on. So I set out and drove around 21,000 miles on my car in the first year, and I never left the counties. These are some big areas, guys, and extremely diverse. Beautiful, beautiful area and wonderful people. And I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people, listening to a lot of people to find out what our needs were and how we could best support. Everybody's dealing with the same issues. Doesn't matter if I'm in Loris, doesn't matter if I'm in Andrews, it's all the same story. I hear it over and over again. Whether it's our homeless issue, whether it's drugs, whether it's infrastructure, everybody's dealing with the same issues. But I also found a disconnect between our communities. And it kept repeating itself as I traveled the region. That's not us, I kept hearing. We're dealing with that here. And so what I found is every community was dealing with the same exact issues, but they were doing it on their own. Physically divided by many things, mostly water. I can't believe how many times I have to drive across a bridge to get anywhere. Lines on a map. Oh, that's Horry County. That's not Georgetown. Oh, that's Myrtle Beach. That's not over here. That's not down the PD. That's not the Low Country. And that's what I kept hearing. That's them. We are not the Grand Strand. That was the biggest one I kept hearing, especially in our inner communities of these two. So the next step for me was, how do I act in a leadership role? How can I help? And leadership always leads to good things. In one of those visits, I was actually with a past board member from our foundation, and he asked me, when are you going to restart the Waccamaw American Leadership Forum? And I said, what's that? He called it by its acronym, WALF. Has anybody heard of WALF? I see some folks. Yep. So I went in search of Sam Cook, who had led that group many years ago. Learned all about this. What this is a kind of grassroots effort here in the Waccamaw region to bring people together and create bonds and build leadership. So with Sam's help and a bunch of other folks, we were able to reconstitute the WALF organization, and I'm proud to say that WALF Class 6 is about to graduate in April. And I'd like to call out, and I think they're hiding over here, but I've got a couple of my classmates, because I'm actually in that class. You guys stand up and give us a wave. Hey, let's applaud for these young people. This has been, for me especially, a life-changing experience. We've got 20 individuals from all over the region that have come together to not only learn about our region, but connect as leaders and people. And I want to take you on a little journey to talk about that. So there's the class of 2023 that will graduate here at the end of April. So we've been on a year-long quest to really join together. We found that together we can conquer any issue, but I'll tell you where it started. It started on that mountain. So part of WALF is a 4-day journey out into the mountains of North Carolina, a place called Table Rock. And for the most part, we're never really told about the details of what we're going to do with this mountain or on this mountain. Sam Cook, if anybody knows Sam Cook, Sam will tell you, just trust the process. So we trusted the process. Day one, they drive us 45 minutes on a dirt road to, we have no idea where we're at, and drop us at the base of this mountain. We load up our packs, and I'm sorry, I'm not a hiker. I walk a beach. I don't climb mountains. And they tell us the first day, we're going to climb this mountain. What we learned that day as a group, that no one person could climb that mountain, but together we did. We had a little system as we lined up to go up the first trail, and they got us on this base, and they said, okay, we're going up this trail, and I'm telling you right now, that trail was straight up in the air. And I'm looking at this going, what did I get myself into? We had a simple system. It was red light, yellow light, green light. At any one time on the hike, if somebody needed to slow down, yellow light. If I needed to stop, red light. And I'm looking over here again because I see him hiding. Yep. We learned how to come together as a group that day. And we did a lot of red lights, did a lot of yellow lights. We helped each other up that mountain. Again, none of us could have gone up there by ourselves. And there we are on the mountain. That bond that this group formed that day has led to some pretty amazing things. So I'm going to give you an example, and you may have seen this on the news yesterday. Yolanda McCrae and Blakely Roof are leaders of our United Ways, both in Georgetown and Horry counties. They are in our class. They came together to solve one of our biggest issues, and that's kindergarten readiness. The time that they started this, only 19% of our children entering kindergarten were ready. It's a regional issue. It's not something that we're going to solve in Myrtle Beach or Loris or Andrews or Conway. It's something that has to be done regionally. And so for the first time, these two United Ways are working together to get this done. This is a great example of how we start to deal and solve the issues that we've talked about a little bit earlier today. So what I want to leave you with is what the WALF class is working on today. And that is, we want to start a movement. And that movement is to get us all to join together and work together on all these issues. Coming together for our communities while keeping their individual identities. I think that's super important to understand. That as we grow, we don't want to lose all that individuality, those identities. And I will, Kobe, Chicken Bog Capital. Where's Kobe? Yep, there he is. There's not a week goes by that he doesn't remind me that Loris is the chicken bog capital of the world. This is going to start discussions. And I think that's where this has to start, is we've got to start it with discussions. It'll join us together to deal and capitalize on those opportunities and deal with the challenges alike. So whether you're from Andrews, Horry County, Georgetown County, Conway, Loris, Georgetown, Pawleys Island, the list goes on and on and on. I want you to walk away today and remember this. We are Waccamaw. Thank you. Thank you.